Just a month ago, Burres and Patty Greer joined me and told me something that seemed impossible, that their ESS60 molecule made laboratory animals live 90% longer in the most historic longevity study ever recorded. They offered to send me their products. Now, I was skeptical, but here they are. You can see them. Now, because I have to be skeptical, right? That's just my job. But what I've experienced since then has completely transformed my understanding of aging and cellular health. The energy, the mental clarity, and recovery I'm experiencing at my age, well, probably wouldn't be possible without this. So today they are back to explain the science behind my results and share what might be the most important health breakthrough of our lifetime. The 2012 Paris Baati study didn't just show longer life, it showed 90% longer life with remarkable effects on tumors. This is the longest longevity result on lab animals in history. Patty, welcome back.
Gary, thank you for having us.
Lovely to be here.
Yeah, no, I need to start with my personal testimony, the sustained energy, the mental clarity, and of course the joint pain relief I've experienced. How does it ESS60 physically work in my body to create these effects?
Yeah, so you mentioned impossible and in your kind of opener there, and it's one of the challenges with marketing is where this longer form of communication actually works because it does so many different things. And here's what we think it does, right? We call it the BOSS theory. So it's buffering oxidative stress system. There's peer-reviewed published research that shows this molecule, and this is in fact, the ESS60 molecule that we're talking about. If you're listening, just imagine a soccer ball where the lines on the soccer ball represent the bonds between the carbon atoms. The molecule was discovered in 1985. The scientists who discovered it won the Nobel Prize for that discovery. And we know from peer-reviewed published research, this molecule gets into the mitochondria. We also know from way back in the 90s that it can hold up to 6 negatively charged particles on the exterior of this soccer ball shaped molecule that we call ESS60. And what that looks like is it holds on to reactive oxygen. So I'll get a little bit geeky here, and then hopefully we can take it up a notch. The mitochondria is the powerhouse of every cell. There's between 50 and 5,000 mitochondria in every cell in your body. Except for your blood cells, which have 0, and your brain and neurons, which have 2 million. That's how much energy our nervous system uses. It's kind of amazing. Wow. Like all energy sources, there is a negative byproduct. You think about your car going down the road has exhaust. You think about a power plant has a smokestack. In the case of mitochondria, you have reactive oxygen species. These are negatively charged particles that I kind of picture them like little bumper cars rusting everything they slam into, causing oxidative stress and oxidative damage. Internal to the mitochondria, you have glutathione and melatonin to manage those reactive oxygen species. But what happens when you stress a mitochondria? First off, like, how do you stress a mitochondria? I kind of joke. If you live in this modern era, you have stressed mitochondria, right? It can be smog, a frustrating and challenging broadcast. It can be an argument with a loved one. It can be a workout. All of these things will stress your mitochondria. And when you do, they start producing more reactive oxygen species than the internal glutathione and melatonin can manage. And that's where we think this ESS60 molecule steps in, holds on to those bumper cars, right? Those reactive oxygen species, so they can't run around and do any damage. And then when that mitochondria replenishes the glutathione and replenishes the melatonin, they can manage them properly. And if you think about it, if you're reducing the negative impact of stressed mitochondria, right? Something that's in every cell in your body, again, 50 to 5,000 in most cells, and then up to 2 million in your brain and neurons. If you're reducing that negative impact, you're going to have head-to-toe testimonials. And that's, in fact, kind of what you're sharing, and it's what we have for our products on a regular basis.
So right now I'm holding the C60 Evo, the olive oil. Now, I personally have been taking the pills, the capsules, and they're amazing. But I thought, just for my viewers, so they can see that I'm, not full of it, I'm actually going to take some right now.
I'm going to take some.
Because, they need to see that this isn't just some kind of a gimmick here because.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. I love the olive oil. I'm sorry. I'm going to lick the spoon. Okay. Oh, I love olive oil so much. That's my Mediterranean
olive
side.
Oil, isn't it?
Oh, it's delicious. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Mm. I'm sorry. I'm just so giddy with this stuff.
And it is a high quality extra virgin olive oil. So you'll get that kind of peppery flavor at the back of
Oh, it's
your
delicious. I
back of your
love it.
throat, which, some people, unlike you, are not kind of aware of a high quality extra virgin olive oil. And we've had, some clients, oh, it's burning the back of my throat. Is it rancid? No, no, no. That's the opposite. It's actually a sign of a high quality extra virgin olive oil.
That's
And
great.
where's
No,
it from, Chris? It's
go
from
ahead.
Cyprus, not Costco.
It was from Tunisia.
Tunisia.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, let's talk about this Paris study. It showed 90% longer life, a significant impact on tumors. It's the longest longevity result in history. Can you walk us through some of these groundbreaking findings? And of course, we're not making any claims here. All the FDA people out there who are monitoring this and all the YouTube, censors. We are not making claims. Just making that very clear.
Well, we'll go ahead and throw in the FDA disclaimer right now, right? Which is the FDA has not evaluated the product. It is not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease. What I often share is, as we kind of share anecdotes, because I'm sure we'll do that today, just assume it's not going to happen for you. If you kind of understand the research and want to try it, there'll be a link for you so you can test it out. So
it's down below. It's in the description.
Oh yeah, exactly. So here's what's really interesting. Right. So the 90% extension of life is really powerful when you throw in the fact that there were no tumors. So think about it this way. A typical Wistar rat lives out to about 32 months and has a known amount of tumor mass in its body. The longer it lives, the more tumor mass it has in its body. Even though the C60 Evo rats lived out to 62 months, so again, 90% longer, none of them had any tumors. Now, I've shared that story with a number of people, and some people are like, oh, cure for cancer. And my response is no. And then I follow that with another no. Like there's a big difference between dealing with a cancer that has metastasized and potentially being a cancer preventative. And we know things as common as good exercise, good nutrition, good sleep can be cancer preventatives. This just throws this ESS60 molecule kind of into that arena. Now, I'm going to share something that's pretty profound. This is a Petri dish study, but they took a Petri dish and they had cancer cells and they had healthy cells, and they introduced an anti-cancer agent. Now, an anti-cancer agent is just a poison. It's trying to poison the cancer cells before the healthy cells. In the presence of the ESS60 molecule, that anti-cancer agent was more efficacious against the cancer cells and showed protective effects against the healthy cells. So more of the cancer cells died and less of the healthy cells died. Exactly what you would like to see with something that's helping that anti-cancer agent. And you're like,
so basically it supplements any treatments you could be taking.
Potentially. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And specifically in this case, what might be in fact, what is probably going on, according to our current theory, is we've already talked about this having an impact in the mitochondria. Cancer its mitochondria uses a different energy source, right? And so if you're impacting that mitochondrial function, if you're impacting how that particular cell creates energy, then you're going to have a positive impact with healthy cells, and in this case, a negative impact with those cancer cells.
That's absolutely fascinating. So I'm showing some of these products here on screen right now. One of my particular favorites is this one right here. And I put it on my face. And of course, I take this every morning. I take 6 capsules of this every morning.
Nice.
And then my wife has been using the facial creams too. I don't have the tangerine cream on screen right now because my wife has commandeered it. We took it on a road trip just recently when we went and saw Congressman Ron Paul for his birthday, and so it's awesome to have this stuff here, and it's having a massive impact. Every morning I take this stuff. It's like now it's become religious for me. Now let's go into the ESS60, 172 times more powerful than vitamin C as an antioxidant. Now, how can that even be possible?
Yeah. So the way to look at this, remember we talked about holding on to those negatively charged particles, right? That's kind of an antioxidant process. It's a little bit different because it acts as a buffer. So it helps your body, it helps prevent the damage so that your body can go about its business. And when it gets the chance, right, in this case, remember when it increases the glutathione and melatonin, then it can manage it properly. So the 172 times more powerful than vitamin C, it actually comes from an ad hoc study on the web. So that's out there. There is peer-reviewed published research that shows it to be 125 times more powerful than vitamin C. And it is related to that process of holding the negatively charged particle. I actually have kind of a fun, interesting analogy, because stress isn't actually bad for you. Like even oxidative stress, if you think about it, we need to be stressed. An astronaut goes into space, they come back, their bone density has decreased, their immune system is compromised. That's from the lack of stress of gravity. So we do need stress. And I have this picture of us physiologically like a beautiful prairie with prairie grasses and prairie flowers. And the rain that comes down, that gentle rain, is the stress that keeps everything super healthy. And when you start talking about stressed mitochondria, you're talking about, maybe, exposure to smog, maybe drinking, smoking, all of these things that can cause stress. That's like this dark cloud over the prairie, pouring a stream of water into the middle of the prairie. Now that's going to do some damage in the prairie. It's going to cause a mud puddle at least. And this is where we think this ESS60 molecule comes in. I like to picture it like a sponge between that dark cloud and the prairie, collecting that stream of water so it doesn't do any damage. Now, it is important to note, if you don't do anything about that dark cloud, eventually the sponge will fill up, it'll start pouring on the prairie. So you do need to be doing mindful things and managing stress, but that holds on to it. When that dark cloud goes away, then you can gently squeeze that water out of the sponge onto the prairie. So this is that buffering system protecting you from that stress.
Okay, I got to tell you something. So I've been taking this stuff for probably, I guess, over a month, much longer than a month now, and my productivity level has really gone through the roof. I'm actually taking on more work than I normally would, and it's like I'm not sure exactly what's happening because like I do put up barriers because I have to make sure that I can get everything done, but I've been a lot more productive as of late, and the mental clarity as well. So what's happening in my brain? Like, does it actually cross the blood-brain barrier? Why am I finding myself more, literally, and this is not BS, why am I more productive now?
Yeah, so there is some debate on the blood-brain barrier. My contention is that, like, if you're having these particular benefits, and I can talk about, I'll give another example that I like that kind of really operates in the brain, and my assumption is you're taking on more and you're not feeling overstressed. Like the reason you weren't taking
Exactly.
it before, like you got to manage the stress to make sure you get it done. You're taking on more, you have less stress overall, right? Is that?
Wow. Yeah, no, that makes sense because of the stress levels.
Yep. And then you feel like, oh, well, I have the bandwidth for a little bit more.
Yeah.
This is an interesting testimonial. So we gave some product to a lady out of the UK. She sent in a video, and it started off with, I'm in the middle of quitting smoking. And if you've ever been around somebody quitting smoking, my first thought was, this is going to be a horrible video, right? Because nobody quits smoking and is happy about it.
Right.
It turned out to be a really good testimonial. And the thing I remember from it is she said this. She said, I found myself having a longer fuse with my toddler. Right now, if you're a parent, like you have a fuse, right? Some days it's a really long fuse, some days it's a really short fuse, but this goes back to that kind of mental clarity. And if you think about our most consistent testimonial, right? Take it in the morning, mental focus and energy during the day, better sleep at night. If you just get better sleep, you're going to be able to manage your emotions and your stress better the next day. And then that becomes actually a really good loop of, I did good things. I don't have to ruminate about the bad decisions I made. So I actually get better sleep on top of the fact that you're taking C60 Evo. And then that just continues to compound.
It makes sense now. Patty, Chris is taking all your airtime, so I want to talk to you about how you got involved with this. I know we've spoken before, but I think our viewers need to really learn why you are like behind this product, what got you involved with it, and the results personally you've been experiencing.
Thank you. I love for Chris to roll with the science because there are a lot of people that only understand that.
Sure.
I speak to the people that don't speak science, and I use shorter words, um, that everybody can relate to. I also deal with all the comments on your show and all the other shows we do, but I'm a walking testimonial. When I met Chris, I was not taking the product, and I started taking it. And the thing that I learned was a lot of people are almost plagiarizing 90% life extension when they're talking about some other product. But the product actually came from our lab and in 2012 at the Paris Baati study. So I went direct to the source because that's my MO. And I started taking it because I don't even know what to call him, but an idiot put uranium in my garage on purpose because I I knew too much is all I'm going to say. And I started taking the product daily, and all of a sudden, stuff started leaving my body, and I hate to say benign cancer tumors, never in my life, but within the first 2 years, everything was shooting out of me. And every time I'd have somebody, the doctor, cut it off, I'd go, thank you. Now it's gone. And I realized that this pushed all the toxins right out of me through my skin. And one of them on the back of my calf, I asked my doctor who it does, the dermatologist, what is this hard ball on the back of my stitches? And there's stitches on the outside and on the inside when they take something out of you. And she said, wow, pretty rare, but you actually even kicked out the stitches inside that are supposed to melt. My ESS 60 body,
Wow.
not that either. And it spit it out. It's called, I can't even remember, but it's a,
Spitting suture. Yeah.
what is
It's a
it?
spitting suture.
Spitting suture. I mean, it all just came out. And I was sweating bullets because the uranium had affected my body. I lost 25 pounds, blah, blah. But I came back like a bulldog. And now I'm stronger than ever. I love taking a shot at the beginning of the show because people will notice, if we were talking previously, that now we're talking with a little more clarity, a little more presence. I do the physical, simple words, which is the product works on a physical, mental, and spiritual basis because when you're clearing the mitochondria in your brain, you've got 2 million per cell, you're going to notice the difference immediately, which you did by saying, I'm getting a lot more done, I'm a lot more clear. And good luck anybody tricking us when we take this product because it really brings your brain back to presence when we're all distracted by the world and all the toxins. So this is like a one-stop shop. It's an all-in-one oil in a really strong and potent oil, olive oil, extra virgin cold pressed. And boy, when you take it, you feel the difference like 5-10 minutes doesn't take long for most people. And when people say to me, I don't feel it, I say to them, do you feel anything? Do you stop thinking long enough to actually feel? And I think the only people that don't notice are so preoccupied with their thoughts and all that that they don't say, oh my gosh, I do notice the difference. I gave some to a well known touring guitar player, and he said, oh yeah, the energy, the focus, great, but yeah, physically I'm only 35. And then all of a sudden he started going, oh my God, my fingers bend again. And as a professional guitar player, all of a sudden he went, wow, totally gone. So that's what happens is that when you stop and take a moment, you say, like the facial serum, wow, start feeling your skin, your wife's skin, your husband's skin. You start to, plus the smell. I mean, the essence of the products you can smell because we also go into the aromatherapy element. It makes a difference. That one is one of our two-part facial serum with peptides, and it has a lovely rose essence. The one-part facial serum, that's the peptide there. And I should stop and say the reason we have a two-part and a one-part is because Chris discovered a year after our facial serum became really popular that if you add peptides, it's one more element that additionally softens the skin. It's a great combo, but why two bottles? Because we don't like chemicals and emulsifiers. So we have you take it, pump it into your palm, and
I'm
use.
going to do that right now. I'm going to do that
Okay.
right now.
Well, you go 2 pumps of the blue
Okay, so
serum,
I've got the big bottle,
and that is the
and
peptide. Show us the color because it's really impressive.
okay, I'll see if I can show you the color here.
In your
Oh yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's
That's like
deep
a nice
blue.
purple. Yeah.
That's the real
Let's
deal.
see if I can show you here.
So for every
Let's
pump of the
see.
peptide,
Let's
you
see.
do
Oh,
2 drops
you
of
can
the
see it right
oil.
there in my hand.
Yeah.
hmm
Yeah.
And
Okay, so
so
I'm going to do that, and then
look at Trump.
okay,
He's going, yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Trump is just his bobblehead is going crazy.
Oh,
Okay,
he's going
so
nuts.
now I'm going to take this next one here. Oh, you can't see it on screen. My bad.
2 drops
Let me.
of the oil
Okay,
formula
I'll do it here.
per pump of
Okay,
the
so
peptide
two. Okay, so I got 2 pumps,
and four
and
drops.
then 4 drops of the activator.
Yep. And together,
What happens if I use more?
you can use as much as you want, but you want to go twice the amount of drops per pump of the blue peptide. And you freshly activate it in your palm, which makes it extremely fresh. Apply it to your skin, and then you don't have to deal with chemicals, which is
No,
really,
I already have the facial serum on. Is that a problem?
Not a
I
problem.
think you'll get along just great.
Okay.
You might be glowing a little more, but
All right, here we go. Okay. Now, admittedly, I've only used this one other time because I used the other one more. But here it is. Oh, it smells good too.
right? So this one is Mandarin Rose,
I'll take that.
and the other one is
Ooh, I
Rosemary.
love it.
Isn't it nice?
Oh, yeah, it
So the
smells
thing that
good.
a lot of people think about facial serums is, oh, they're for women, but we sell just as many to men.
Hey,
And
we got to look good too, you know? Come
Yes,
on.
we do.
We got
and
to look good too.
when you notice the change in your skin, you get inspired to do it regularly. I do both of them. You can do one in the morning, one at night, or just do whichever one resonates with you. The other one is quicker. I mean, this is one, the other one is two.
Yeah, admittedly, I'm always running around, so I'm like, okay, just like squirt, squirt, put it on my face. Good.
Yeah, I move quickly also. But I do want to mention that when I suggested to Chris that we should do a facial serum, because every time I would take a spoonful out of my bottle, I'm going to show off this giant bottle, which is 32 ounce. I would always wipe the lid. And then, like you did, I'd wipe the spoon and put it on my face. And I
Oh yeah,
realized
baby. Look
that
at
my
that.
face was getting really smooth. Look
I'm
at
kind
you.
of jealous though. I'm just gonna tell you I'm jealous that you have such a big bottle over there.
Yeah.
Of course, it's your lab, so it's
That's
your
why I
product.
showed you. Yeah. Well, the 32 ounce is available on the website. You can also get a case, 25% off. But we have small to large bottles depending on you, your desire, your family. But the thing about the facial serum was that the guys at the lab laughed at me when I said face serum. They're like, we're a bunch of dudes, we don't want to do girly stuff. Next thing I knew, they came up with the second facial product and the box. Now, the presentation, in my opinion, that the guys surprised me with, this is a fresh one because I ran out. My camera's backwards. When you lift the lid, it's just really lovely. And it says revive, replenish, rejuvenate. So, right when you open it, it gives you a message of, that's inspiring. And then when you put it on and sniff your hands, it's just heaven. My best
No, the
friend says,
packaging is beautiful.
yeah, but it also, I think the concept of the scent is also lovely. And your wife obviously got off with the tangerine skin cream, and it's
Yeah, I
called,
can't even find it. She's hiding it, I think.
I'll have to send you another. So you each have one. But this is the tangerine body cream. And why tangerine? It makes people happy. So we do things on multi levels because my skin smells so good. It's softer. My face smells so good. And a lot of people have the joke at home, and they go, at night when they put it on, my best friend says, "Honey, smell my face." And it's like facial foreplay. So there you go. Products that hit you on many levels, but the essence I think is really important, and that's why Chris does the science, and I do the stuff that makes people go, ooh, ah. Yeah, the
No,
product smell.
Chris does the science, and you make it, you know, tangible for the consumer, and something that people would like to use. I mean, when my wife comes home, I'm gonna give her a kiss, and she's gonna smell this on my face. I can't wait to hear what she says. Chris, you've been making this in your Houston lab since '91.
Yep.
Okay, so how did you react when Carbon 60 won the Nobel Prize in '96?
Yeah. So that was incredibly exciting, right? Like the whole kind of story is the molecule was selling for $6,000 a gram. My business partner was actually separating in the lab at the University of Houston campus. His professor came in and said, "Hey, this is selling for $6,000 a gram. You should go start a business." And my business partner's from an entrepreneurial background. I kind of joke he did a back of the napkin calculation, which only had one number, $6,000 a gram, right?
Wow.
And so we were off and running and making this product, and I was brought on to help put together the equipment to manufacture this product. But by the way, that equipment is still to this day the most efficient way to manufacture this material. And so we start manufacturing it in 1991, delivering it to research institutions around the world.
Wow.
And the Nobel Prize comes in '96. We were ecstatic, right? And part of us, and honestly, in the moment, I didn't think of this, but now in hindsight, the fact that we had been delivering commercial quantities of this material to research institutions around the world for 5 years before the material won the Nobel Prize. I mean,
That's
it's
remarkable.
reasonable to suggest that the fact that scientists had access to the molecule in quantities that they could do experiments with is part of the reason that they won the Nobel Prize. So, like, we have, it's reasonable. I try not to be braggadocious, but it's
Okay,
reasonable.
let me brag for you. So basically, you guys are in the lab. You figure this stuff out in '91, and then you make it easily accessible to other labs. Everyone starts testing this stuff out, and they're finding the same results you are. And then they're like, "Hey, call the Nobel Prize Committee because we got something here."
Yeah.
But it was
It-
for ink, batteries, tires, and photocells for 25 years. They weren't making it for humans or pets. So, it was industrial, and that was easy for them. And I do want to say, when you look at Chris and think 34 years, oh, come on, you're not old enough. But he's mid 50s, I'm early 70s. And when people are selling a supplement, I look at the people and I say, let me look at your health. Let me feel intuitively where you're at, what your skin, quality. I look at us, and for my age, I'm doing pretty good. For Chris's age, he's looking pretty, young. My mom's 96, and she's got gorgeous skin. She lets me know when she's down to a third of the bottle, and I send her more. But her helper started taking samples because I said, you got to try it because I don't want you to leave my mom at 96. She helps her stay alive. So I sent her a bottle also of the C60 Evo olive oil. She calls me a week later in tears and she says, I've had migraines for over decades. I all of a sudden don't. So I'm not making a medical claim. I'm reiterating what she said to me. And every time I get an email, she says, I haven't had a headache since I started your product.
Wow.
So I want to add my testimonial, which is that I had both hips replaced last year, and nobody can tell because I walk, I dance, I cruise, and I'm like coming back to life. I didn't have agonizing pain bone on bone for the years that I was dealing with it. And the surgeons, and when I was auditioning the doctors to find the right one, number three, number one and two were like, they looked at my x rays and said, that's not possible. You've been walking bone on bone. And I said, yeah, it is. And I pull a sample out of my purse. Let me give you a sample. And they're like, no, we're doctors. We'd rather do surgery. Of course. They didn't say those words, but I knew what they weren't saying. And after the surgeries, the first one, 5 days after, I did a show because from the chest up, I, I was fine. My brain's back. Plus, I didn't want to do their pain meds because I didn't need it. And I called this a Mondo lubricant for this old Mercedes, which I consider myself, kind of a vintage vehicle that put this marvelous oil in, and everything's changed. So I've amazed the doctors going in and out. I've amazed the dermatologist who said, I see scars. 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. How are you doing this? And I showed her the product. She wouldn't take a sample either because they're doctors. But she said, I've never seen anybody heal like you. So I'm the bragger because I use it and I benefit. But when Chris met me, I had been poisoned by uranium. I'd also been hit by a terrible weapon leaving the UFO field. Everybody else died. I'm the only one still here from that group of older people, and I miss all of them, but I'm the survival case, and it's because I take this product.
Okay, amazing testimonial right there. You've heard mine thus far. I mean, are people, they must be experiencing the same types of things. Are they matching my experience? I mean, with productivity and the clarity and just the stress relief?
Yeah. Did you notice that we had a show booked with you, and we were really excited, but you didn't receive your products? And I wrote you before the show and I said, did you receive the products? Well, no, but we can do it. And I said, no, we can't. And nobody
Mm-hmm.
ever canceled a show on you. And I felt terrible. But the difference of you taking it or not taking it is what your audience wants to know. What's real?
Well, and
What?
your insistence on, of course, and it wasn't just about receiving the product, it was about taking it for a 7-day period so that I could actually have and report results. That was pretty remarkable. We have a lot of sponsors on this program, and not many of them are as insistent as you guys were because you guys knew I would see results.
Yeah. It's because everybody that I know sees results who's got their brain grounded enough to say, oh my God, I do feel this. And I knew that you would benefit. Basically, all of our influencers take the product regularly. They have for years. When they run low, they let me know, which I'm telling you, definitely let me know. Take care of your wife too, because when you look better, when you are more clear, your audience notices. And the fact that you're doing more and feeling better.
I was going to say my wife. Oh, did we lose audio?
Nope.
We're good.
Oh, so my wife's skin, right? She is using these products, is transforming. People asking what she's doing. How does ESS 60 work, and from a topical perspective, for the face and skin?
Yeah, well, it depends. So if either both of the products have ESS60 in it, right? And this is that molecule that can get into the mitochondria, that molecule that supports your mitochondrial function, whether that mitochondrial function is the function of your skin, right? So when you apply it topically, it's got easy, direct access into the skin cells and into the mitochondria. So you're supporting that. It also turns out that mitochondria is where you produce the foundational hormone pregnenolone actually comes out of mitochondria. So we haven't kind of dug into this particular research, but if you're supporting your mitochondria, you should be supporting your production of pregnenolone, which is also going to support the other hormones, actually specifically the sex hormones, which are important in your overall appearance as well. So again, it boils back to this fundamental reducing the negative impact of stressed mitochondria so that you have these amazing testimonials. And we're working on putting together some clinical trials to really dig into what are the actual impacts, right? Because we want to be able to come on and say, we do this and that and this. You just got to have the trials behind it to do it. And by the way, we published last year it was May of last year and June of this year. Supplement companies don't normally do research and don't normally publish that research. That is just where our foundations are. The foundation is in research, and we're continuing to do it.
What about pets? You have a line of products for pets. How safe and beneficial across different species?
Well,
So go ahead, Patty. Yeah.
the testimonials on our website, people need to read. We have had people say, we have to put our dog to sleep. And I say, wait, take the C60 Evo for dogs, which is our potent olive oil plus a little bacon flavor. So natural bacon flavor for dogs, natural salmon flavor for cats, and it makes the pet love it. But all of a sudden, when you see your dog come back to life and start running again, and you don't have to carry him down the stairs to go out back, it's a real gift to all of you. When you don't have to go to the vet hardly ever, it's a real gift to all of you. And that's what we're hearing in our testimonials. And with the cats, their fur is more glossy, but also old pets really benefit. Young pets is like preventative. Don't let them get old. Don't let them get feeble. Give them Evo because, like you said, Gary, when you work out, if you take it in advance, you're going to feel a lot better after a hard workout. Chris is doing races with his wife, and he knows to take it in advance so he doesn't have to hurt the next day. And when we remind people, we have a friend that had to cancel a show because he had shingles. And so I said, double up your Evo. And somebody else has shingles that I just heard. And I'm thinking, oh God, the chemtrails are dumb. Anyway, my brain, goes there. But I said, double up your Evo. And then Chris told me to remind them to put the facial serum on their rough skin. And boy, what a difference because it heals. I'm sorry, can't say that word. It makes your skin come back to life so much quicker.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
And this feral cat that chose me in the neighborhood because I gave it C60 Evo with cinnamon flavor, he still comes, but he lived through the winter. And I couldn't believe he was out there 10 degrees. I mean, night after night. The cat came back the next day, totally healthy. So, we're giving longevity, energy, better health to pets. And, when you see the difference in your dog or cat, you're definitely going to want to take it yourself. That's why we do the dog lover set or the cat lover set. And any of the sets that we do, we take 15% off the price of each item. And we have a whole huge page of gift sets. It's just a way to save a little money and to share the benefits with your animals.
I've got the shot of the product on screen here. Are you? Can you see it? Can
Yeah,
you see the shot? Okay, so kind of just walk us through, what we're looking at here,
great.
and explain what the differences are, because I know we've kind of touched on some of these here, but if you could just kind of run down the line of what we're looking at.
You bet. I'll start on the left side, which are the least mentioned. Trump is still going, uh-huh. On the left side is the green, and it's the avocado oil, which is all organic, tastes delicious and nutty. It's got zero point 0.6 to 0.65 milligrams per milliliters, which is super strong. The strongest is the olive oil, zero point 0.8 to 0.85. And I'm mentioning these numbers so you can know the difference. The coconut oil, the blue one, is what I put in my morning coffee because I love it. And I love the smooth buzz. And it's half as strong. It's 0.35 milligrams compared to the olive oil, zero point 0.8. So I do twice as much. Boom. And while I'm mixing my coffee and the butter is melting and the honey is melting and everything is blending nicely, I'll do a spoonful of the olive oil to kick myself real quickly into gear. And so it's a combination for me. It's a combination for Chris. I know he also adds the olive oil to the avocado to his salad midday. So I don't know how he does it, but he holds all of them. And, he probably could do the longevity test, in 50 years, he'll still be cooking. I personally love those two. And when I do the avocado oil, I love the nutty flavor. Then we've got the facial serum, which you and I mentioned. So quick, so easy. You just squeeze down the top. The essence is rosemary. It's got 21 natural, organic, and vegan ingredients. What makes it so different and highly effective is that I used Brigitte Mars as wisdom keeper. She's written all these books on raw foods, and she looked amazing. She's my age, and her skin was over the top great. She said chia seed oil. And I was like, well, that's the first ingredient. Send it to the lab. None of us had ever heard of using that in a facial serum, but that's one of the tricks. Plus the ESS 60 oils. There's 21 natural, vegan, organic ingredients. You put that on, you'll wake up going, what? I did. The next one, the little green bottle, is missing its peptide counterpart, but it's a hair serum. And when everybody was losing their hair from the thing in the arm or the big flu thing that went around, we're going to be subtle. we found that a lot of us, even me, and I have a lot of hair. So for me to see hair in my drain was like, what? And I only got the flu thing once because I went to an event and all of us in the back row for some reason got sick. But my hair stopped falling out in 3 weeks. And I haven't lost a hair since. My brush is like, come on, give me something. But I take the Evo, which on the inside fixes everything, in my opinion. But if people are thinning hair, losing hair, it's a great item. And it's a two-part again because it has the peptide that goes with it, which you don't have in that collection, but it's hiding somewhere. It's a
Yeah,
tall.
it's hiding in my house somewhere.
That's
I had to scramble to go to the to go onto my wife's sacred space and her bathroom to get all these things. So I may have missed something.
I love it. I hear that a lot, that once gave my wife a try of it, she didn't give it back. So ask me for two, and I'll be happy to send one to each of you because I want you both to be luxuriating and smelling divine. And then we had a couple more products there. I think was the olive oil and the olive oil capsules, which are our top sellers. Those capsules are great for travel. They will not take them out of your suitcase carry on because they're not, yeah, and they're good sized capsule, all natural. And again, you take 6 of those in the morning. I personally take a teaspoon of the oil, tablespoon for me, but they are really potent and really effective. And people actually say, I don't need food when I take the capsules because the gelatin is a little bit of food. And it's got the strongest olive oil, which is zero point 0.8 to 0.85 milligrams per milliliters. You're not going to find a product that good anywhere with the ESS 60. I do want to brag that my partners have the only lab in the world making ESS 60, which is the evolution of the industrial grade C60 industry. And when we met, they were making mostly industrial grade for tires, batteries, photocells, and selling to research institutions around the world. They've been very successful for years. And every test, every peer review test on carbon 60 fullerenes, the products came from our lab. They didn't come from any other lab. And the only lab I know of that's supplying people other than us is in Wuhan, China. So you've got to try
Where?
Wuhan.
Oh, man, don't even say that word to me.
They've written me a few times. We've got good prices. I'm like, you've got crap prices.
Wuhan.
Wuhan.
Yeah,
So
no,
it's
thank
either
you.
us in Houston with ESS 60, the evolution of the industry, because we sell, Chris and Robert still sell industrial grade for tires, batteries, and all that, but not to people and pets. And they have admitted with great integrity that people have called that want to cheap out and get, take it and mix it in their basement. And Chris and Robert are like, no, we're not going to sell you industrial grade if you're feeding it to your family, your pets, other people. It's not good enough. It's not clean enough. And the evolution of the C60 industry is that they experimented with making it more clean and safe for people and pets. And the ESS stands for elemental safe spheres with 60 carbon atoms. So the ESS 60 is what you want to look for if you want to be taking carbon 60. You don't want to be
Amazing.
taking industrial.
Well, I am definitely going to be calling you guys when I get low because I don't personally want to run out of this stuff. And I want all my viewers to go to your website right now because we didn't even bring up we brought up the website, but there is a special offer. I tried to put it on the screen earlier, and that is NNN at checkout. We want them to go to, just a second here. Oh, here it is. Okay, c60evo.com/NNN. I'm going to put it on the screen for everybody to see here. It is c60evo.com/NNN. It's linked down below, and you're going to get your use coupon code NNN at checkout. And you have bundled products, sets 15% off, individual bottle prices. Tell us real quick about the offer that's exclusive for our viewers.
It's exclusive for a lot of people also, is that if you sign up for a monthly subscription, which is more than half of our sales every month, you'll get 20% off every month. And if you don't love it, you can cancel at any time. Most people don't. So 20% off for subscriptions. And the biggest deal is 25% off for a case of 12 bottles. And we sell a lot of cases. But again, no matter what discount you get, use the code for NNN at checkout, and you'll get another 10% off. So the discounts are nice. Pretty much if you buy 2 of any item, we will throw up something that says buy a third and you'll get half off that one. So take your time on his landing page, c60evo.com/NNN. You'll see like specials and things as well as these 3 offers. And the best thing is it's going to improve your life. It's going to help your dogs and cats live a little longer and less visits to the vet and the doctors. You're going to be impressed when you try it, but don't trust me. Trust yourself to give it a go, because we wouldn't do a show with you until you gave it a go for a week and then it changed your life. And now you've had it for a month and you're sold. And it means a lot to us that you said, I sell a lot of other products, but this made a difference for me. And that's what we hear a lot. I recommend that people take it at noon or before, 12, 1 o'clock at the latest, because then you have energy all day. You sleep better at night. On the other hand, Perky Chris can take it at night and a cup of coffee and dances nuts off, and he goes right to sleep. Did I say nuts?
You just did, yeah. I think that's what happened.
I do think my brain's moving a little fast. Oops.
By the way, it's not easy to do. I'm going to throw that out.
Guys, it's been great to have you both here again, and I can't wait for my wife to come home. I want to give her a kiss and see if she notices. But one thing I notice is that, like I said before, my productivity is completely accelerated. My mental clarity. Listen, I'm in a very difficult business. I have to handle a lot of different moving parts, and adding this to my regimen every morning, even before my workouts, has been revolutionary. So I want to thank you guys for sponsoring the Next News Network and for providing myself and my wife with these products so we can continue to share the benefits with our viewers.
We
thank
love
you so
working
much.
with you. Yeah.
All right, guys. So what Chris and Patty have just revealed today isn't just another supplement. It's the most significant longevity breakthrough in recorded history. A 90% life extension with massive impact on tumors, the longest longevity result ever achieved on lab animals, and now my own transformation confirms what thousands are already experiencing. And what about that Nobel Prize story? They literally kicked off the Nobel Committee because their own lab was the lab that was able to distribute it. And that just doesn't happen, okay? So this is a Nobel Prize winning molecule, 172 times more powerful than vitamin C. Okay, it's not locked away in a private secret lab, all right? It's available right now. So while Big Pharma fails to extend life by even 10%, a simple carbon molecule is delivering results that redefine what is possible. Like I said, my energy, my clarity, pain-free joints. At my age, I'm 48, okay? I'm starting to feel it. But it shouldn't be possible. My wife's skin transformation speaks for itself. All of her friends, let me just tell you, always remark about her skin. It's not hope. Okay, it's documented science. It's backed by personal experience. So visit c60evo.com/NNN and make sure you use code NNN at checkout. When history records the molecule that changed human longevity, you will want to say that you were among the first.